Hello and welcome to Chapter 4, Section 2 on experiments. We'll take 4 videos to go through Lesson 4.2. Because there's a lot of stuff that we got to get through for our learning objectives. We're going to have to learn between an observational study and an experiment. Know the difference between the two. Here's a vocabulary word we're going to be addressing is the word confounding, so we'll have to understand that concept. Some more vocabulary words here. So experimental units. Here's some stuff that we have had before. Explanatory and response variables. So again, our x and our y variables. And then we'll look at treatments as well as a vocabulary word. Some more vocabulary words. We've got to understand the purpose of comparison, random assignment, control, and replication. We'll also have to be able to describe what a completely randomized design is for an experiment. Okay. The placebo effect, which many of you might be familiar with, we'll talk about that. And the purpose of blinding an experiment, or even for that matter, we'll also talk about a double-blind experiment as well. We'll talk about what does it mean to be statistically significant, and then we'll look at blocking in an experiment, right? And then be able to describe a randomized block design versus a matched pairs design. All right, lots of stuff to cover in 4 videos, so here we go. Observational study versus experiment. Well, an observational study observes. Well, that's kind of obvious. An observational will observe individuals and that will measure the variables of interest, but does not attempt to influence the responses. So in other words, you do not interact with the experimental units or the subjects. In an experiment, you do deliberately impose some type of treatment on the individuals to measure the response. So here, in an experiment, you do interact. Okay? So you do interact with the subjects. Here you do not interact with the subjects. Alright? So when our goal is to understand cause and effect, so this is where we're going to start talking about how we can get to that point of saying there's some cause. So when our goal is to understand cause and effect, experiments are the only source of fully convincing data. So we can't just do an observational study and then establish cause and effect. It has to be an experiment. And then the big distinction between observational study and experiment is one of the most important in statistics. Being able to know the difference between those two is huge. So observational studies of the effect of an explanatory variable on a response variable often fail because of confounding between the explanatory variable and one or more other variables. In other words, lurking variables. Right. So well-designed experiments take steps to prevent confounding. We're always trying to look to prevent confounding. We want to be able to eliminate, or at least at the very least, is to minimize those lurking variables. So, again, the definition of confounding occurs when 2 variables are associated in such a way that their effects on a response variable cannot be distinguished from each other. So, in other words, we got, to have 2 kind of things that if I had something trying to be associated or is associated with y, there might be some other variable that's also affecting the y in much of the same manner. We can't distinguish between, was it the x that affected the y, or was it the z that affected the y? So an experiment is a statistical study, not an observational study. An experiment is a statistical study in which we actually do something. So in other words, a treatment to either some people, some animals, or objects. Those are always called experimental units. They're experimental units when we deal with objects, animals, but when it comes to people, we have a little bit different language. So a specific condition applied to individuals in an experiment is called a treatment. Okay, so some kind of condition, some specific condition that's applied to some individuals. Again, individuals can be people, animals, objects. Again, we'll get a little more specific when it comes to people here in a second. But that whatever I'm applying to that individual is called a treatment. If an experiment has several explanatory variables, so in other words, maybe I'm trying a lot of different treatments. Maybe I'm trying an aspirin pill. Maybe I'm trying a vitamin. Maybe I'm trying, a piece of fruit or something like that. All those things could be multiple treatments that have several different explanatory variables that I'm trying to relate to a response variable. So a treatment can be a combination of specific values of these variables. So again, experimental units are the smallest collection of individuals. Right? So those individuals could be animals or objects. But when the units are human beings, they are called subjects. We just give a little bit more respect to when things that we're doing measurements on. When they're humans, we call them subjects. Just a little nicer to say than saying you're an experimental unit. It's better to say we are a subject. All right. Well, we'll continue with this next section on how to experiment badly in our next video. But until then, you should be able to do this first assignment from 4.2, numbers 37 through 42, and then 45, 47, 49, 51, 53, and 55. All right, and I wish you luck. See you in the next video.